Jesus Christ, and a most warm welcome to all of you joining us on this 32nd Sunday in Ordinary Time. In just a few moments, Pope Francis will appear here at this window. We're coming to you live from St. Peter's Square. He'll be coming to this window in the Apostolic Palace and lead us in praying the traditional Angelus at noon. Many of you joining us from around the world, different times of the day. I'd like to welcome you to this live broadcast. Some of you joining us, we know, through the various Vatican media channels we make available to you through the Vatican Audio Live Events app or the Vatican Radio app. Some of you also tuning in on the Vatican News web portal, YouTube channel, or our Facebook Live feed. And to our television viewers out there, welcome today. You see the large crowd here gathered, some with banners. Some of you tuning in through Catholic TV, Catholic Faith Network, Shalom World Television Network, Shalom TV India, EWTN, Salt and Light TV, and at Madarshan TV. And to our radio listeners out there, a most warm welcome to all of you as well, especially to those of you tuning in through Luminous Radio. But we know others are also tuning in through other local radio stations picking up the broadcast. My name is Sister Bernadette, and it is a pleasure for me to be able to provide you today with the English texts and translations. One of the highlights of Pope Francis's week was on the first Friday of the month of November. He celebrated Holy Mass with those at local hospital, the largest hospital in Rome, where he himself was a patient back in July. And we're celebrating the 60th anniversary of the inauguration of the Faculty of Medicine and Surgery of the Catholic University of the Sacred Heart, with its headquarters in Milan, but their Faculty for Medicine and Surgery located here in Rome at the Gemelli Polyclinic Hospital. Our Holy Father delivered a beautiful sermon or homily. I recommend all of you to read that. A beautiful reflection on the Sacred Heart of Jesus and what it means to remember everything that Jesus did for us, so that our hearts too might be moved before the suffering of those around us, but also when we ourselves are united in the pain of that heart of Christ on fire for love of us. We hear some bells in the background now as well. Our Holy Father also reflected on the fact that the heart of Christ is not just a pious devotion. We don't just go to Mass on First Friday, for instance, but we need to remember that it's a heart actually torn open for us on the cross. In the tenderness and pain of that heart, the Pope said, God shows us what his true passion is, and that is you and I. We now welcome our Holy Father at the window, who's now greeting everyone down below in St. Peter's Square.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, buongiorno.
Dear brothers and sisters, buongiorno, good day.
La scena descritta dal Vangelo della liturgia odierna si svolge all'interno.
The scene described in the Gospel of today's liturgy takes place inside the Temple of Jerusalem. Jesus watches what is happening in this, the most sacred of places. And he sees how the scribes love to walk around to be seen, greeted, and revered, and in order to have the places of honor. And Jesus adds that they devour widows' houses and recite long prayers in order to be seen. At the same time, another scene catches his eye, a poor widow, precisely one of those exploited by the powers that be, puts in the temple treasury everything she had, her whole living. This is what the gospel says. She threw everything into the treasury that she had to live on. The gospel presents us with this striking contrast: the rich, who give from their surplus wealth to make themselves seen, and a poor woman, who, without seeming to, offers every little bit she has. Two symbols of human ways of behaving. Jesus watches the two scenes, and it is specifically this verb, to watch, that sums up his teaching. We must watch out for those who live their faith with duplicity like the scribes, so as not to become like them, whereas we must watch the widow and take her as a model. Let us reflect on this. To watch out for hypocrites and to watch the poor widow. First of all, to watch out for hypocrites, that is, to be careful not to base our life on the cult of appearances, externals, and the exaggerated care of one's own image. And most importantly, to be careful not to bend faith around our own interests. Those scribes, in the name of God, covered up their own vainglory, and even worse, they used religion to cultivate their own affairs, abusing their authority and exploiting the poor. And here too, we see that really ugly behavior that we even see today in many places, and that is clericalism. That is, to be over those who are under you and to correct them, to be hard on them, and to always feel yourself superior. This is clericalism. This is a warning for all time and for everyone, church and society. Never to take advantage of a specific role to crush others. Never to make money off the backs of the weakest. And to watch out, so as not to fall into vanity, so as not to be fixated on appearances, losing what is essential, and living superficially. Let us ask ourselves, this will help us. Do we want to be appreciated and gratified by what we say and what we do, or rather to be of service to God and neighbor, especially the weakest? We must watch out for falsehood of the heart, against hypocrisy, which is a dangerous illness of the soul. And a judgment, he says, even the word says that it's to judge someone to be beneath you. They're people who judge have duplicity in their heart. They're two-faced. To heal this illness, Jesus invites us to watch the poor widow. The Lord denounces the exploitation of this woman, who in making her offering must return home without even the little she had to live on. How important it is to free the sacred from ties with money. Jesus had already said this in another place: you cannot serve two lords. Either you serve God, and we would think that he would say, or the devil, but he said no, either the God or money. But at the same time, Jesus praises the fact that this widow puts all she had into the treasury. She has nothing left. but finds her everything in God. She is not afraid of losing the little she has, because she trusts in God's abundance. She's not afraid of losing little because she believes in the one who has everything, in God, who multiplies the joy of those who give. And this helps us think of the other widow, that of the prophet Elijah, who was about to make a bit of bread with the last bit of flour and oil that she had. And Elijah says, "Give me something to eat," and she gives it. And the flour never diminished. A miracle. The Lord, when someone is generous, when a person is generous, God always goes beyond and is more generous. But it's Him, not our vanity. This is why Jesus proposes her as a teacher of faith, this woman. She does not go to the temple to clear her conscience. She does not pray to make herself seen. She does not show off her faith, but she gives from her heart, generously and freely. The sound of her few coins is more beautiful than the grandiose offerings of the rich, since they express a life sincerely dedicated to God, a faith that does not live by appearances, but by unconditional trust. Let us learn from her. A faith without external frills, but interiorly sincere, a faith composed of humble love for God and for our brothers and sisters. And now, let us turn to the Virgin Mary, who with a humble and transparent heart made her entire life a gift for God and for His people.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ecce ancilla Domini.
Fiat mi secundum verbum tuum.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Et verbum caro factum est.
Et habitavit in nobis.
Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tui mulieribus et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus.
Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen.
Ora pro nobis, Santa Dei Genitrix.
Ut igne ficiamur promissionibus Christi.
Grazie a Tu anque sumus Domine, mentibus nostris infunde, che Angelo Annunziante, Christi Fili Tui, incarnazione in coniovimus, per passionem eius ad crucem, a resurrectionis gloriam perducamur. Per Christum Dominum nostrum.
Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Gloria Patri et Filio et Spiritui Sancto.
Sicut erat in principio et nunc et semper et in saecula saeculorum. Amen.
Pro fidelibus defuntis requiem aeternam dona eis Domine.
Et lux perpetua lucet eis.
Requiescant in pace.
Amen.
Sit nomen Domini benedictum.
Ex hoc nunc et usque in saeculum.
Aiutorium nostrum in nomine Domini.
Qui fecit caelum et terram.
Benedicat vos omnipotens Deus, Pater, et Filius, et Spiritus Sanctus. Amen. Cari fratelli e
Dear
sorelle,
brothers and sisters,
seguo con preoccupazione
I'm following with a lot of concern the news coming from the region of the Horn of Africa, in particular from Ethiopia, shaken by a conflict that has been enduring for more than a year and that has caused numerous victims and a great humanitarian crisis. I invite everyone to pray for that population that is extremely hard pressed, and I renew my appeal so that fraternal terms may come, and I secure my prayer for the prayer of the fire after the explosion of petroleum in Sierra Leone. Yesterday in Manresa in Spain, there were 3 martyrs proclaimed who were part of the order of Franciscan, the Capuchins. And he proclaimed their names. They were killed during the religious persecution last century in Spain. And they witnessed to their meekness and testified to Christ. May they be helpful to Christians of today to remain faithful to their specific vocation, even in moments of trial. Let's give a round of applause to the new blesseds.
Salute tutti voi.
I greet all of you, dear people of Rome and pilgrims from various places, especially those who have come from the United States of America and Portugal.
Saluto I gruppi di fedeli di Prato e di Foligno.
And he's greeting members of the faithful from Prato and Foligno. People from the profession of faith of Brescio. I wish all of you a good Sunday. Please don't forget to pray for me. Enjoy your meal, and we'll see each other again. Our Holy Father, remembering the troubled region, especially of Ethiopia, and the people who've suffered from the explosion in Sierra Leone today. And we now bring this live broadcast of the recitation of the Noonday Angelus with Pope Francis here in St. Peter's Square on this 32nd Sunday of Ordinary Time to a close. I invite you to visit the Vatican News web portal, our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube accounts. You'll find coverage of today's Angelus, as well as other Vatican and world news. We will be back again live on Wednesday. Our Holy Father will once again lead the general audience from Paul VI Hall. On behalf of Vatican Media, I'd like to thank our media partners again: Catholic TV, Catholic Faith Network, Shalom World TV, Shalom TV India, EWTN, Salt and Light TV at Madarshan TV, and Luminous Radio, as well as our audio technicians in studio for making this broadcast possible. A blessed Sunday to all of you. Laudetur Jesus Christus. Praised be Jesus Christ.
எடுத்துக்கொள்கிறார். நானும் இப்படித்தான் என்னுடைய இந்த பாதையில